Hello YouTube, let's play some chess. Playing with the black pieces. We got a d4, d5 position. Okay, it's gonna be a London or Queen's Gambit declined. Or whatever this is called. I'm not too familiar with this, I have to say. I think I can get away with this. Yeah, it's scary because my opponent is prepared and I'm not. Now this does resemble some kind of Tartakower-ish positions. Yeah, I think this is actually alright. This also plays against the knight. And let's see, do I want to go there? Yeah, let's go there, put some pressure. And it's a question, because now c4 might become a thing. Maybe I should just ignore that. Yeah, let's go for this. I think this knight move wasn't best, but I played it anyway, so yeah, still c4. So now I'm thinking knight e6 is an idea. Although I don't really want to defend with c5. Or maybe I do. Let's go here for now. It's a bit passive. My opponent doesn't have much play anyway. And I'm gonna develop my queen just because I think it makes sense to castle queenside here as well. But now probably not anymore. Yeah, so I think c6 is the play here. Just move my bishop back. Probably here. And I can just castle kingside. So this queenside attack isn't too scary now. And okay, this is a minority attack. Do I care or do I go for the attack on the kingside? Because I think this can get quite dangerous for him. Let's go for this. I know it looks like it weakens my king, but his pieces are not really pointed at my king, so this is actually alright. Yeah, and this trade wouldn't be too bad. It's a backward pawn, but it's difficult for him to get to. If I attack the knight, he could maybe go there. So let's hop my knight in first. And that would be awkward for him to have to move the knight back. And it helps my kingside attack as well. And again, this trade, don't really mind. He can go there, but yeah, for instance, I can win his queen. So probably he shouldn't go there. If he pushes, I can just take and move my bishop. Okay, that's interesting. Does he say his knight goes there in the end? Maybe. This does give me a hook. So let's continue our attack. And I can even move my king up, start using rooks as well in the attack. My bishop and queen are quite nicely lined up. Right now this doesn't do much. You can just move the rook and then probably bishop back to cover those things. So opening up his king makes more sense. Of course then he can move his king over and start using his rooks as well. So that's something to consider. Okay, so he moves his rook over. So now I think this makes sense. Should I force his knight back first? Kind of blocks my bishop a bit. Could also move my king up first, because I'm not really in a rush. Tough decision. I think I'm gonna go for it, since he moves his rook away. So if he wants to go for the plan to move the rook there, that's basically a wasted move. Okay, and this makes a bit of sense as well. But now my bishop does get that square without possibility of it being traded off. Also now I can really get a clamp on that position. That knight is not doing much. Maybe I can try and get my queen in. Wait, let's see. If I go here, can a knight take there? Takes, pawn takes. Can also just go here, or just take. If knight takes. Can also go here. Makes a bit of sense as well, actually. Let's try that. Because I can see a future where my bishop and queen, my arrows are a bit off, but you know what I mean. And of course, he tries that. Now I can take, if he takes my bishop, I can take one of the other pawns. And if he goes there with the knight, and maybe queen here, if takes. Do we have knight h4? And the bishop can come back in that position. Yeah, let's take anyway. Just makes sense. Queen here, takes, takes. King up, trying to prepare the rook move. I think that makes sense. It's difficult for him to defend that. And his bishop can't come to the defense because of this pawn now. Yeah, so here, maybe I can just go and ignore things. Let's say he takes here. Can I go here? Let him make a queen because that's checkmate. Probably. So how does he stop this? I think this is an alright plan. That checkmate is really difficult to stop. I can just let him queen, because that's checkmate. And even if he does something else, I can't really find a way. I was looking at that. So if he takes here in the end, that does stop checkmate. So now maybe I can just defend that pawn and then go for my plan. Maybe he can give up his bishop and then queen there stops it. Then I've won a bishop. Or maybe he can move his knight and put the bishop there. Although that's one move too slow. And still, taking here is not much of a problem. And this, I guess, gives his king a square. So maybe I... No, that doesn't work. Okay, but let's see. If the king wants to go there... Yeah, maybe that's all right for him. Takes, takes. Also take here maybe. Wait, takes. If he takes like that, then my knight jumps in. Still king here kinda lets him get away. He takes like this. Maybe I can sack my bishop. Help my knight in, attacking the queen as well. Yeah, I think this is worth it. I don't have much time, so this basically needs to work at this point. I think it's really interesting. Yeah, I thought maybe sacking my bishop here does make sense. If my knight comes in with an attack on his queen, he needs to do something about that, but I'm also threatening checkmate, so... If not, at least I've won a pawn here, and his king is very open still. Can I sack my bishop here? Takes. Probably not. I can move my rook over now. Or take his rook. Just simple moves. Let's go for that. It's still tough. He's probably still queening at some point, so... Yeah, I can now at least try and go for this. Because if knight takes, I take his rook. It's a really messy opening or game. There probably was something for me at some point, but couldn't really find it. Let's at least use this pin. Also threatening this to win the queen. Yeah, 47 seconds is probably not enough. Okay, let's win that queen. Oh, I guess he can take with the knight. Then I win the rook at least. Could have maybe taken here, but I wasn't sure. So this is a thing. Okay. I'm looking at this sack because I feel like there must be some kind of checkmate there. It's probably easiest just to go here first. Of course, it's his move now, so... And he has this as well. If my moves come with check, then maybe he doesn't have time for stuff like that. Okay, he has a lot of time. I have 33 seconds, so it's gonna be tough. If he moves his king, I can go there with check. Maybe he can go here or something. I'm probably just gonna go there. I don't have much time, so I need to play quickly. So let's just go for that and hope for the best. So I need to play checks all the time. And hope there's some kind of checkmate. It feels like there should be mating. The king doesn't have much squares. Actually, everything is covered. Does he need to move the bishop there and that's checkmate? Am I missing something? I think that's what's gonna happen. I don't see anything else. So yeah, okay, finally. I knew it would somehow be mating for me. I just didn't really see how. He wants a rematch, but I'm gonna go to the game review. Because I feel like there's a lot to discover here and to learn. So yeah, 79.5 accuracy, not the best. I had a brilliant move. That was probably the bishop sack. I'm hoping because here was already out of book. The Tory attack, this is called, okay. I should book up on this. So engine says this is actually alright. It's actually a bit better for black. All about equal actually. And here black is better, so even though I didn't really know this opening, it worked out. And going for the kingside attack was the best plan. I was debating it, but I felt like his pawns are pointing at the queen side. His pieces aren't really getting to my king, so I feel like it's safe to push my pawns there. Yeah, these ideas were all right. Here engine says h4 or king g7, both are options. I did consider both, so still good. Yeah, here I felt in the game this wasn't that accurate. Yeah, just king g7, just slowly preparing, not rushing. I think this was too much of a rush. And here, yeah, starting with king g7 again. Probably easier because I know I want to play that move at some point anyway. Yeah, this is at least an immediate checkmate threat. Of course, he can take the bishop, which he did. And then here, king g7 was basically the only move. And then here, f5. Yeah, I looked at f5. Oh, why didn't... I thought he can take, but the queen is defending. I didn't see my queen defending, so that's why I defended with a rook. Yeah, and that's less accurate. And then here, yeah, again, just f5, just to prepare rook h8, but I didn't see it. And in this position, rook h8 is actually all right as well. And just says queen d7. And I can still go for this check, even though the king can run. And apparently just taking here, if he gets the bishop, I can come in and... What's happening here? Just queen takes. Okay, that's a long line, but yeah, intuitively I felt like all these things were somehow dangerous for him. This was the brilliant move. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So the idea being if he takes and I take back, I'm attacking his queen and threatening checkmate. And there's no way for him to stop both. Actually, even if he gives up his queen and defends checkmate, it's still mate in 5. So he can't take the bishop. Yeah, I felt like taking a rook wasn't best, but I just couldn't really see continuation here. Knight h4 is really interesting. Because what if he takes? Rook g8 and moving my king is a threat. Okay, makes sense. That's tough to find. And else... Yeah, bishop e3 check. I was looking at this. Sacking my bishop, saying, okay, now I got this. If the king moves here, then that's gonna be checkmate probably. Apparently it's not forced mate. Bishop h5. Yeah, that's now pinned, but it is protected. Then okay, I can probably go here. Or queen h3 check, picking up the bishop. Yeah. And if his king goes to the other side, this is what I was worried about in the game. Didn't really see a continuation here. Just taking the knight back and playing from there. Yeah, makes sense. So it's a temporary bishop sack. I went materialistic, but this wasn't best. Because he is apparently okay now. And then here, yeah, e3 is just winning. Knight takes, and yeah, here rook h2 makes sense. I was looking at this as well. It just doesn't work. He can take here, so I don't have time to take his queen. This check makes sense. The knight moves back. Yeah, I can just take the rook, and then this is still pinned. This is a problem, yeah. In the game I just took the rook, which is fine as well. And actually this is winning for me. Yeah, so this was best. And this is just completely winning for me. So he took a long think here, but it was kind of too late. And I realized here that this, I didn't calculate it, but it feels like it's checkmating. And yeah, with my rook and my queen covering all these squares. Yeah, now it's just checkmate next move. So what should he have done here? Yeah, the way to prolong checkmate is to block with the queen. Yeah, then you just lose your queen. So, and here this is just forced mate. Quite a nice checkmate pattern. Usually with a pawn there and a protected queen, because the queen covers all these squares, and in this case the knight helps as well with checkmate. So quite a nice pattern. Let me know what you would think. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.